so we're gonna jump straight into it, man, about what three models, I'm saying three models, based on the engines they have available today that they can bring back, man, if they were smart enough, to appease the market, man. Because one thing I remember before I moved out here, and I just sit back and think about like how GM do their cars. When they do car shows and like Woodward Dream Cruise, man, like they be bringing back these retro vehicles, man. Like they got the Chevelle or the Monte Carlo or the Cutlass or that G body, that F body G body like retro frame back in the early 80s and 90s. I always see that, man. They always talk about, oh yeah, you can put an LT1 in there or an LT4, and they leave it up to the consumer to do that. But I feel like GM should do it themselves because people always like to have a warranty. Not everybody just keen on nowadays to take a block out of this car and put it back in like the old days when it was the LS days. Them days are like long gone. I still respect it. I'm a hands-on guy myself. But I feel like if GM come out with these three models though, they would definitely change the game, and it would affect their bottom line if they listen to me, on this, just a little bit, not on their whole lineup, because it may tank. But I feel like this is the way to go, because what I'm gonna give to you guys is the motors that they have available that they can come out with instead of this EV stuff that they pushing, So the very first thing I'm gonna say that goes on with the favorite, like in the car community over the whole world too, is the Grand National. The 1987 Buick Grand National to be exact. So now with Buick, they trying to rebrand the whole Buick nameplate and everything. I feel like this is the perfect time to come out with a modern day Grand National. Y'all drop a comment below and let me know what y'all think. Should they come out with a Grand National? And this is the reason why I say they should do that, is because y'all know the Cadillacs as of this point in time has two different motors. They have the V6 twin turbo in the Blackwing edition, and the CT5 has the supercharged LT4. But I guess y'all can already see where I'm going with this, that if they already came out with a modern day Grand National, they can get the CT4 Blackwing motor, man. So that means it's gonna come out with that twin turbo 3.6 or 3.8. I can't remember what engine is in there, but I just know it's twin turbo, and it makes a decent amount of power. And with that Grand National, that Grand National was always a V6 twin turbo, and it was beating a lot of cars back then. You can't tell me that it wasn't. And of course, it was iconic with the black on black, paint and wheels and so forth. But I feel like they come out with different color options for people, and not everybody want black. Maybe they should just sell them black and probably another color. Back in the days, like they did have like a Regal that was like a brown, that looked like the Grand National based on the body style, but it really wasn't the same. But I think it shared the same motor of the Grand National. Y'all drop a comment below if y'all know what I'm talking about. The second one that's on my list, I feel like this is for people that love like their trucks, and I feel like they did it wrong when they came out with it. And that is the Blazer. Instead of them coming out with the EV Blazer and the Blazer that they have like today, like I feel like that's garbage that shared like the interior similar to the Camaro. I feel like they did it all wrong, and I feel like they should have brought back the K5 Blazer. That would have been like so iconic and better for them. Kind of like how Ford did the Bronco. They did a modern day retro look with the Ford Bronco, but GM should have did that with the K5 Blazer. And the engine transplant that I'm thinking about what they have today will be the LT1 engine. Like just the same way how they put it in the Corvette and the Camaro, why not put it in the K5 Blazer? Or they can just put the LGX motor, the V6 motor inside the K5 Blazer, 355 horsepower, 355 torque. And that would have been just perfect for that. It's not nothing that can go around it's just perfect to go around through the city. But if people wanted like that heavy horsepower or more horsepower for towing and stuff like that with the K5 Blazer, then they should offer a trim level that I feel like they should go into that LT1 motor. So you get to use that Camaro or Corvette based platform. Now that would have been nice. And the chassis I suggest that they should use on that, just like a 1500 chassis, the same that they use in their trucks and their Chevy vans or stuff like that, because they know how to maneuver on that. And I feel like that would have been like a great deal for them to bring that car back. And even though Chevy is like more centric on like the Corvette now, but I feel like that would increase their truck lineup and be something different, and people can relate to that. People can have nostalgia to that type of car, just like I have nostalgia with like the Camaro and so forth. So that's my thing on that, and they'll kind of match the horsepower range based on like what the cars was back in the days too. So it won't be like no change there. Actually, it'd be more horsepower. So, and like the Grand National, like the Grand National was max like what 235 horsepower or 275 horsepower and 330 foot-pounds of torque. So if you swap it to the modern day one with the CT4 Blackwing motor, that's a game changer. That'll sell like hotcakes, man, especially with the body style. That is just classic. So that is it. That's the number 2 car that I feel like GM should bring back. Hey, so with this very last one, I'm probably gonna date myself and put my age and share how old I am, but it's just crazy. Like, birthday coming up tomorrow, so by the time y'all see this video, like, I'm probably dropping it, most likely I'm dropping it on my birthday. But with this last vehicle, I feel like this is gonna be something different that throws a lot of people off, and a lot of people probably forgot about it. But back in the early 90s, I remember people talking about this car, or this truck, I should say, and this is gonna switch it up. Like, this is gonna be the GMC Typhoon or the GMC Cyclone, that's what it's called. And this one is like a high performance sports pickup truck, man. Yes, GM, like back in the 90s, I'm telling you guys, like they changed the game with that. And this was like based off the same Alpha, no, not the Alpha, this is based on the same chassis as y'all probably rented in growing up, like the Jimmy, the Bravada, the Simona pickup truck. Like, y'all know what I'm saying if y'all remember those like trim levels. So this right here, if GM come out, I don't know what chassis they will use, but if they come out with like a pickup truck like the GMC Typhoon or the Cyclone, and then put the CT4 Blackwing motor in there to keep the same legacy and the same like nostalgia as that truck had, that would be a complete game changer. Because we talk about the Camaros and the Corvettes, but there is a truck community that people love to like build their trucks up and go fast and turbocharge those cars. And imagine having a smaller truck, kind of like they did something like that with the I cannot think of like the truck that they did. It's like an AT4 truck or whatever. Y'all drop a comment below on the name of that truck that they did. I'm drawing a blank on it. But if they just came out with a GMC segment of that truck, that would be like a total game changer with the CT4 Blackwing motor, which, as I'm just thinking about it, the CT4 Blackwing makes 472 horsepower, man. Twin turbo. And back in the early 90s, they only produced about 2,000 of the GMC Cyclone, but that was a turbo V6 as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it shared the same motor as the Grand National. But with that being said, that will shine light on the GMC segment, and that can bring all those enthusiasts that love to mod their trucks, high performance trucks. Instead of the V8s, they decided to get that, and that could be some crazy horsepower gains there. Like, that just, even based off the name alone, like just the nostalgia, like a modern day Cyclone, modern day Typhoon or whatever, like that'd be nice. Because GM was like kind of crushing the game before everybody in today's time going crazy over the track car. Like, you gotta sit back and think, like GM like put SS on a whole lot of different models, like the Trailblazer SS, the Impala SS. Like, those cars was like phenomenal. Now, I feel like as times went on, they just started like didn't know what to do. The designers didn't know what to do. They just started coming out with everything, because the Impala now does not look like the same Impala it was back in the early days. The Monte Carlo that they used to have before it just phased out did not look like the Monte Carlo back in the days. Like, the last one I remember that was probably popular was like the Dale Earnhardt one. But yeah, that was that. I didn't even care for that just for the looks of it. But that is going to wrap this video up, though. Those are the 3 models that I feel like GM should bring back, that I bring awareness to all their brands, except for the Cadillac. I feel like the Cadillac is doing good. They're like trailing, they're blazing their own trail with the black wing segment and all that stuff, and I hate to see it go. I feel like that's this last little piece of it, but I feel like to shine light to the other ones, I feel like these are the 3 models they should bring back, and they can have their own performance segment to like shine the light off of Camaro. Even though I know people like myself, I like the Camaro, but I wouldn't mind if they came out with these other models to try it out because it's a high performance car and you can bring your family along with it. So y'all drop a comment below, let me know what y'all think. Do these models sound good? Would you buy some of these models like this that I mentioned, or are you aware of it? But that's my thoughts on it, man. So if y'all like this video, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to follow the MOC. And like that, I'll see you guys in the next video.